Two very interesting subjects on the table today. One, we're going to talk about full-time trading and doing the mathematications of how much it actually takes to trade full-time, taking everything into account. Trust me, that number is going to be a lot higher than you probably thought. We're also going to talk about prop firms and can we use them to help accelerate our wealth and ultimately become full-time traders, and kind of what you should look for, what you should be aware of, and some general advice when dealing with them. Let's go. Question about prop firms. What do you think about using them to build capital for your personal account? So let's start off with this, right? I think it's important to start off by understanding that trading isn't a get-rich-quick scheme, right? Trading is a wealth accelerator. It is a way to take the money that you have and make it grow faster. It's funny, I'm on the financial advisory board of a foundation, and we're having a very similar debate right now where the foundation has some investments and the members of the foundation are split because half are super conservative and they have the money in a fund where it's not really making anything. It's producing less than the S&P, and half the foundation wants it to be more aggressive. And the advice that we gave the foundation to consider before we can make any type of ruling or decision or make any type of advice or recommendation is that you need to understand, like, what is the goal? Is it all about safety and conserving the money that you have, or is it to accelerate the money that you have so that you can achieve your bigger goals? And if it's to accelerate, you do one thing. If it's to conserve, you do another thing. But trading is a wealth acceleration tool. It is a way to take money that really isn't doing too much and have it grow and develop faster. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. And I say that because I think so many people don't realize how much money it actually takes to trade full-time. Have you guys ever thought about that? Has anyone thought about that or ran the numbers, like how much money it takes to trade full-time with realistic results? Right? Not these stupid 100% a day results, with realistic results. I want you to think about this, because the number I always spit out there, and obviously it depends on your lifestyle and your returns and all that fun stuff, but I always say, like, a safe number is 200,000. Now, why 200,000 seems like a lot, but when you do the math, I want you to think about it, right? So I think we would all agree we'd probably be happy with a 40% return a year. Would you guys be okay with that? ROI of 40% a year. You'd be happy with that. You outperform the markets on a consistent basis. Boom. What is 40% on 200,000? Right? 40% on 200,000 is 80,000, right? Which is a lot of money. But when you're thinking about full-time trading, nothing else, living just off your trading capital, and I don't know how much your lifestyle costs. If you have 18 kids and a new house, 80,000 probably doesn't stretch too far. If you're a swinging bachelor or bachelorette, 80,000 is more than enough. But you think about 80,000. Now you think about taxes, right? Taxes are probably going to take 25% of that away. You're going to get taxed on it. So let's say taxes and fees and all and whatever stuff is going to take 25% away. Right? So let's say you're down to 60,000. All right? Still a good number, right? But what's the goal of trading? Is it to take all of your profit and spend it and start the next year with the same amount? Or is it to grow the account? Well, it should be to grow the account, because as you grow the account, a 40% return on investment from 250,000 is a lot more than 200,000, right? So you want to build it up slowly. So if you think about how much you want to actually put back into the account to continue to grow it, maybe that takes your 80,000, which is down to an estimated of 60,000, maybe that's split in half. Maybe it's you want to put 20,000 back into the account, and you want to keep 40,000 for your life. Now, are you able to live off 40,000 out, right? Do you see how it dwindles pretty quickly? And these are just generic numbers, but I want to make the point of how you can see it. Like, it's not as much as you think, considering everything else, considering what you made, what you have to keep for Uncle Sam, what you need to put back into account, and what your life is going to cost, right? So it's really, really hard to just say that I'm going to become a full-time trader and just do it right away. You can get to that level, sure, over time. And if you look at like, if you ever run the numbers on like compounding your account, if you can make it past the first 5 years, you see exponential growth. The first 5 years are kind of like, man, slow and boring. But then after that, it takes off. So the question is, how can I get to that takeoff period as quickly as possible? And there are many ways to do that, right? But you want to supplement your trading account, right? Either work on your personal finances and spend less, and that way you can put more into your account. That is, make a commitment to say, hey, I have my regular 9 to 5 job. I'm going to save blank amount, right, into your monthly budget. I'm going to save blank amount and put that into my trading account at the end of every month, quarter, year, whatever it may be. Or it may be saying, hey, I'm going to work for, in this example, a prop firm. And that allows me to trade, that allows me to make capital. That capital is then going to be able to fund my personal account. And that's what I'm going to use as my business until I get my account size to the point where I no longer need to trade for this prop firm. Or you can still do it anyway, right? Because you should never be in a rush to stop making money, as long as it fits within your kind of your overall lifestyle, right? So that's where the prop firm comes in handy. So I think it is an excellent way to earn capital. I think it's an excellent way to build capital for your personal account. Now, that being said, prop firm trading is very difficult. Now, there's 2 types of prop firms. There's brick and mortar. That's your conventional one. I'm assuming the one that our trader is talking about is the online prop firm, right? So just real quick, and I've done a lot of podcasts on this, but brick and mortar are better, because brick and mortar, you're actually in an environment that wants you to succeed. Meaning that when Mike Belfiore and S&P Capital, when they bring prop traders onto their firm, they're bringing them on because they're going to help the firm produce profit. It's like bringing on a new signing to your team, right? Unless you're Chelsea Football Club, who signs everyone for no reason, although they won 6-2 this weekend, so they can get away with it. But usually if you bring a player onto your team, you're bringing that player onto your team because it helps your team get better. And then you want to work with that player. So with brick and mortar prop firms, again, like S&P Capital, because that's the one that we know the best, when they bring on a trader, they evaluate that trader, they work with that trader, they teach that trader. It's very similar. We modeled our tier 1 community off of them. They're very similar. That's why we have that connection, where it's like when you come into the community, you're not just by yourself. You have an older trader, an accountability partner looking after you, right? You have someone that is looking over your shoulder, right? They have daily sessions, weekly sessions where you got to come in and share your trades, right? This is similar to our accountability sessions or our Q&A, where it's like, hey, come share your chart and we'll kind of mark it up for you and make sure it's right? They're doing everything. There's a great supportive system that is supposed to make it as hard as possible to fail, because they want you to succeed. Because guess what? The better you are at trading, the more money you make for yourself, but the more money you make for the firm, and the prop firm's goal is to make money. So brick and mortar prop firms, great, because they give you that supportive community. It makes it really, really harder to fail, right? It's still easy to fail at trading, but it's harder to fail. Online prop firms, more convenient, because there are many out there. We won't get into how there's a lot less out there, because many of them are being shut down and scams are kind of dying out. But not as great of an opportunity, because you're pretty much by yourself, right? When Paul goes for a prop firm challenge and at Akil Stokes' prop firm, Akil Stokes isn't like working with Paul. The sad truth is that in most cases, once Paul paid his challenge fee, job is done. I expect Paul to fail, and I expect Paul to come back next month and pay me another challenge fee. And the unfortunate truth is that many of those prop firms, that's how they make their money. They can care less about you succeeding in trading. Their goal is just to consistently like churn out these challenge fees. Does that make sense, guys? It's the unfortunate truth about prop trading. It's like fee. And I did some research a while ago on numbers, and it's hard to always get these numbers because the numbers are lying, because sometimes they inflate them. Like if I'm a prop firm and I'm putting out success numbers, I'm not going to put out 1%, because why would you ever take my challenge? So I'll put out numbers like, 45% of my traders are successful, and it's hard to believe a lot of that. But in general, what you're hearing is like probably about 4% of traders actually make it to like a payout. I've heard numbers as high as 10 that are believable, but usually about 4% of traders, if that, are making it to their first payout. And just to kind of give you an example of the money making machine, there was I did research on this a while ago. I forgot what episode it was, but they were talking about the average amount of money that this was only one prop firm in particular, and they had like a quote unquote 45% rate on traders that passed, but they had marked down that the average amount of money that a trader spent on these challenges before becoming successful was about $4,000. Think about that. You're using something that is supposed to help accelerate your wealth, but it took you $4,000 worth of trying to finally become successful. Did you push yourself forward or backwards? Now it's hard to answer that, because you can say, hey, if it's that $4,000 was an investment, but the truth is it probably wasn't. Probably most of that 4,000 was wasteful, and now you have to make up for it. Right? Now, some advice I would have for traders going to the prop firm challenge, so you don't spend $4,000 before you become successful. And a lot of these challenges are different now. A lot of them, I'm not a prop firm expert at all. I don't pay too much attention to the space, to be honest with you. But a lot of them went from the model of like, hey, you pay this fee up front and then get right to it, to like now you can kind of play around on the account, on the platform, do demo, and then only pay when you feel like you're ready. And that's a piece of advice that I would give to anyone, where it's like, always make sure you're ready before you do it. Know what the prop firm challenge is, right? Because the prop firm challenge may dictate how you trade. If Orsi is a phenomenal trader on a daily time frame, but the prop firm trader, or the prop firm challenge, I should say, pretty much requires her to trade like on a day trading time frame, Orsi might suck on a day trading time frame, because those are two different games. Trading on a daily chart and trading on a 5-minute chart are two different games. And if she's not prepared for that, then SOL, blank out of luck. So make sure you know the challenge. Make sure you prepare yourself for the challenge, right? Demo trade, back test your strategy, all the stuff that we teach you here at Tier 1. And then even with that, give yourself kind of like a budget. So like, I don't think it's a proper expectation to expect to pass on the first time. But give yourself a budget where it's like, hey, I've put enough money aside where I can give this 5 shots. And then that's the money that you use for the prop firm challenge, instead of getting sucked into like fail, reapply, fail, reapply, fail, reapply. Because that's what so many of these traders are doing. You know, when I hear stuff like people spending 4K, it tells me that they're sniffing hopium, that they're just blindly going in, they're failing, and then they're telling themselves, okay, yeah, I figured it out. It's very similar to the demo trading story that I had, where I kept demo trading and being awesome, and live trading and blowing money, and then I would just demo trade again, and then I break my rules and live trade again. They're just sniffing hopium. I hope it works this time. And before you know it, you're $4,000 in debt. So give yourself a dedicated budget. But on the bright side, a lot of traders that do go on to be profitable prop firms, right? They put themselves in a situation where they can use that to start growing their account, accelerating their wealth. They also do it on multiple prop firms as well. So once you're consistent and you're good on one challenge, right? Maybe you go to a different prop firm and bang, now you've got two working for you, right? Now you've got two jobs, you're making more income and you're just accelerating it more and more and more and more. Obviously, there's a point where you might get overwhelmed, and that's no different than trading in general. So you want to be aware of that. But you can see that if you are skilled, if you're good enough to pass that challenge and use that to create income for yourself, it's just like adding another pair to your portfolio. You can do it with multiple challenges, multiple prop firms, and just exponentially accelerate your wealth even more. So yes, I think it's a great idea. You just have to be careful. You have to be aware. There are a lot of scams. There are a lot of Ponzi schemes out there. It's not as easy as it may seem. It is difficult, but you want to approach it like a business. You want to approach it like a professional. And I would always say, make sure you're fully prepared before you go after it, instead of just like blindly jumping in. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. This clip came from one of our Monday Q&A sessions, my absolute favorite day of the week on the platform. If you want to join, check us out, www.tier1trading.com. We have Monday sessions where we dive into very interesting subjects. And then we have live trading rooms throughout the week, accountability sessions on Friday, and a bunch of training courses meant to take you from struggling to consistently profitable trader. www.tier1trading.com is the site. Look forward to seeing you over there.